Christmas.
Hi, y'all.
Is it? Well, today really is the first day of Hanukkah, really.
Okay.
But still, I mean, we got to have our Christmas party, right? And this is why when I think about it, you and I are self-employed people, kind of, right? So like, we really don't have a company Christmas party. This is our company Christmas party.
There you go.
Why not? We can have our own company Christmas party.
Right, right. I can be the Grinch. I was
Well,
actually looking for a Grinch drink, and I found a couple of different ones, but it was a process. And after open enrollment, and it's still kind of going, y'all. So I'm not completely done, but I've been like very tired. And then on Sunday, I opted to run almost 14 miles. I was going to cut it at 10, and I said, "Oh, I can keep going." My Garmin says, I should be doing the mileage, so I kept going. And then right at a mile 11 and a half to 11 and a half, I started feeling it. By mile 12, my ankle was bugging me. And at that point, I'm 2 miles away from my place. So I'm like, okay, you can do this. You can do this. And I just like was going really slow, and I slowed down from a 10-minute mile down to like a 12-minute mile. It was like so slow. I got home. I'm hurting. My ankle's hurting. My body's hurting. I took a nice hot shower, and I was like, my ankle, my legs, everything was hurting. Getting up, I was like, it hurts, it hurts. So I did not do what I wanted to do this weekend. So I was a little slow from that, but I still got most everything else done except my one drink that I was going to do, which was going to be uh, eggnog. And I was going to make an eggnog. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'll just go buy it. I mean, I had really good comfort. Southern Comfort had a really good eggnog, so I thought I'd do that. But then, since I had to do some print, the Stafford liquor store was right next to it. I said, "Oh, I'll go there instead." Of course, I had forgotten my wallet, and and I had no cash on me. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" So I had the print job being done when I went back to the office to get my wallet, go back, go to the bank, the printer, and the liquor store. I was a mess. They
it
were
sounds like you need a drink.
they were out of eggnog. So I was like, oh. So then I said, what about this? What about that? And then I said to the guy, I need something that I would be able to have at a party, a holiday party. And he goes, oh, come with me. And so he walks me over to the refrigerated section, and they had the last one, Harvey's buttered rum batter. So it smells so good. I could smell the cinnamon in there. I can smell all the little spices in there. Oh my goodness. It just smells absolutely delicious. So I went with that. And so that's what I'll be serving today. We'll make that in a second. But what foods do you have? Because
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I really did strange on the foods because I didn't do with a. I mean, I was just thinking, I'm a simple, easy guy, right? I want simple, easy party tray. So I mean, I did get the simple party tray with the good cheeses, the little meats.
okay.
All right, hold on, wait a minute. I've got this new thing I hooked up. Let me show you.
Oh, show me. Show me. I want to see. I want to see. Oh,
Wait a minute. That's an extra camera, right?
okay.
But my extra camera I can pick up and show you. So I've got these wonderful meatballs,
Nice.
little sweet sour meatballs. Of course, I got me a little tray. All right, everybody has a party tray, right? I've got my jalapeno cheese, my cheddar cheese, the little Smokies, Ritz crackers, right?
Gotta have the Ritz. That's the one thing I did not grab a cracker, so I have no crackers.
This is our little apple turnover.
Nice. Did you make
some apples? And Gwen made these.
Oh, good job, Gwen.
Oh yeah. Then I was like, this is the biggest thing that I set up for my whole week was right here.
Nice.
And as you see, it's in the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I have my ice next to it, but let's take away the ugly ice. But anyway, my punch bowl, the only thing I did not ask, the recipe that I found online said to add cranberries. I decided not to add cranberries.
That's okay.
I wanted to go with it. Instead, there's a cranberry sauce or cranberry juice into it, right? Okay. And it is designed to be a punch that is, and I'm gonna remove that camera there so we'll go back to just you know. It is designed to be a punch that can be done non-alcoholic.
Oh, nice! I love that.
So
One thing that we talk about all the time is how can we make something without the alcohol so the kiddos can have it, or pregnant, or those that are, are not, they don't want to
or
be
you
drinking.
can have it at the party, so Tim and Gladys can spike it.
Uh-huh. There you go. You're so bad. And you're
Because
gonna
Tim and Gladys, if they came to your party, they would be the ones spiking the punch.
there you
Just
go.
saying.
And the thing is, I think a punch like that, you'll have to tell us what's in it, but I would think that you can spike it with vodka, or as you're going to do with a prosecco.
Well, I could. You know what? I could. I didn't bring any vodka in. I could run out here and get some, because I mean my bar's right outside the door. But the punch is designed to go with
La Marca,
prosecco.
Yeah.
Right. And it's designed to be like a mimosa type punch, but it is listed as a Christmas punch. But it basically, it reminded me of a mimosa, but everything's in it.
Okay.
All right. The base is putting in the oranges, all right, and the cinnamon sticks.
Okay.
Then you pour over pineapple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice, ginger ale, and then you stir it up. Yeah, you put the ginger ale into it too.
Okay.
Right. So by itself, it is a good drink.
Yeah.
Right. I think I didn't add to it was I did not add ice cubes. I put it together and put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours today.
Right. Yeah. If you add ice, then it waters it down a little bit. And if you've already, it's only if it's too sweet. If it's too sweet, then you add the ice to tone it down.
But the other thing I realized when going through my house is I don't have anything to scoop it with. You know, your punch bowl, you have a little punch scoop.
Right.
We don't have that here.
Oh, do you have like a small little cup that you can pour in there? And
So here's what I have. These are Gwen's great aunt's teacups.
Nice.
Teacups, which works perfectly to get you in there and get some juice. And like I could pour it and I have several different cups. I was going to do also like play the party cups.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to drip on my desk with this. So I'm going to so I can just drink it right out of the teacup, right? If I wanted to, if it was a warm drink, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's designed to be a mimosa. So I could put it in my mimosa cups.
There you go.
But these are Gwen's great aunt's.
Oh, pretty.
These were her, her champagne glasses.
Okay.
These would have been from like the 1800s. Champagne glasses.
Nice.
And we still have several of these now. I mean, we delicately use these so that we don't break them, because we only have like 4 or 5 left.
Yeah.
Right. And these have been, these have been in our family, Gwen's family, for over 100 years.
Nice. You got to take as best care as you can.
Yeah. But then I was going to just put my water this week in my regular beer glass.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I pulled out they actually had these similar to these, not as pretty. They were just very basic glasses. And I said, oh, yeah. And then he goes, oh, do you need this? And I said, oh, no, I have a couple at the office. I'm good. When I picked up the buttered rum. So Colin at Stafford Liquor, thank you very much. This smells absolutely delicious. He also suggested, he says, do you have rum? And I said, no, but I can get it. So he suggested Myers rum. I cracked it open because I had a visitor today that is also a connoisseur of liquor. And so he's all, I've never had Myers rum. I said, well, you want to taste it? So I gave him a little bit. It's like here, as we had our meeting, chit-chatted, he got to taste. I tasted just a smidgen because I was not ready to have rum at that time, which was at 3:00 in the afternoon. So he got to taste it. Yeah, it was, I was like, hey, that's, and the other thing that I pulled out was hot cocoa. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I have hot cocoa because I love making special hot cocoa that you can just have just something nice and warm. But the buttered rum, you can make it in a big batch. That's why I wanted something that could be made in batch, not something that was just a one, just like your punch, you can put it into a punch bowl. And the other thing that I learned, which was actually kind of cool, is that when it comes to a hot buttered rum, it's similar to cilantro. People either love it or they hate it. It's sometimes people have that flavor that with cilantro that it's like, oh, it tastes like soap is what I hear, and I love cilantro.
I do too, and but I've heard that. You know what I mean? So the hot buttered rum's got that two-sided taste to it.
Yeah, where because of the butter, and so the problem is with when it comes to the hot buttered rum, essentially it's butter, and all the your spices, your allspice, your cinnamon, your cloves, things of that nature, nutmeg. And so the way that it's looked at a lot of times is that you're putting this together, and now you're adding this disgusting oily, so you got the butter, and it's almost like adding olive oil to your champagne, is what somebody had alluded it to, where it clashes, and so I thought, well, I never thought about it that way. But one of the ways that this can be fixed is that you take, if you're going to make your own buttered rum. Now, here, your hot buttered or your buttered rum here, that it's already prepackaged. You don't have to worry about something like this. But if you're making your own, you're going to take your pound of soft sugar, pound of soft butter, your pound of brown sugar, and a pound of white sugar. Then you add your cinnamon, your ground cloves, your ground nutmeg. Then here's the secret. You get a pint of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And you mix it all together. And then once it's all nicely mixed, throw it back in the freezer. And what happens is that the ice cream helps with that whole process of not letting the butter get all that like oiliness. It keeps it all together so that it looks like this, so that you have, and then you're going to scoop it into your mug and add your hot water. And right there, voila, you have delicious hot buttered rum without that separation of oiliness. And the ice cream just makes it nice and creamy, so that you don't have somebody making fun of you. Like there was a mixologist from back in 1940 something, in his book of the fine art of mixing cocktails, completely made fun of the hot buttered rum. He says that it's like warm olive oil blends with champagne. That's who said it. And he was making fun of it, that only people in the Northwest Passage, being in the Pacific Northwest, I was like going, hey, you're talking about the people in this area, that only those in that area would even appreciate it and can suck it up. So I bear to differ. There are differences that can be had with this, but it's I'm looking forward to tasting this one because it's super easy to make. They even have a recipe with cider. Colin said he hadn't tasted it with cider, but that he was going to be experimenting this evening with
a hot cider or a cold cider, though?
Well, it says 1 tablespoon of the buttered rum, 8 ounces of apple cider or apple juice. Heat the apple cider to near boiling. Stir in the blended buttered rum, and then add a cinnamon liqueur, or you can really add anything to it. But
I'm wondering, well, when you say cinnamon liqueur, I'm wondering if the cinnamon that my cinnamon bourbons or cinnamon whiskeys would go in that.
That's what I was thinking.
But like but I asked whether the cider was hotter, because to me that sounds like something you want to put in hot.
And I was reading that some people will use hot cider over water, so that is another way of going at it. And again, your cider, how sweet do you want your drink? So this one, you can also add this to pecans, and you can throw them in the oven, and or you can pan fry them. So there's multiple things you can do with buttered rum. And it also calls, at least the recipe for the rum to be your actual rum to be first before your buttered rum. And I might get the cinnamon spiced liquor that I have there. And then we're going to add the hot water. And I'm going to give this a moment to just sit for a moment. And I wanted to taste it just by itself. Oh, wow. It almost tastes like frosting, like a cinnamon frosting.
Wow.
That's the feel that I got from it, is that can be used as frosting.
So I just have one of my meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
I got other stuff we got from the store. Nah. Don't tell Gwen I don't like them. She found them for me.
You're like, I can make my own taste better.
No. there's a taste in it that, oh gosh, not mold, but like a mildewy.
Yes, it's probably
The
too
mildewy
old.
smell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. I know
There's
exactly.
that taste into it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just not a good.
See, so now it's, and the other thing you can do to hot buttered rum is that you can put grated nutmeg. And I do have a grater and I do have nutmeg at home. I did not bring it down with me, but you can add a little bit of nutmeg. You can add a cinnamon stick to it to garnish it, make it look pretty. In my opinion, I would even put a dollop of whipped cream on there with a little bit of nutmeg on top to make it look just prettier.
Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness, this tastes really yummy. So food wise, what I have is that I made these little cheese
Oh,
little skewers, and then on this,
grapes or tomatoes.
those are well, they're the variety cherry tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
So there's the yellow, there was a yellow one, orange, kind of a darker red, and then the bright cherry. But they are all considered heirloom. Then this is a Havarti cheese,
Mhm.
smoked Havarti, and then two different types of ham that I got in there. And then I'm all about having shrimp in whenever there's a gathering as an appetizer. So I have the shrimp over here. I got the two different types of olives. Then I got fruit. I made my own cocktail sauce, and then over here is a port. Um, so the inside is cheddar cheese. Then there's port wine on there with the almonds. And so I thought, oh, that sounds like really pretty. But look how pretty I made my. Ooh, I better put this down. My balancing is coming off. But I made my shrimpies look all pretty.
Mhm.
I took care of all this yesterday. That was one thing I did after I made my Mexican beef soup. It was caldo de pollo or caldo de res. After that was getting made, I took care of all this, wrapped it all up. You should have seen it all cellophaned up. This reminded me of Rams, where they put other stuff on there too, the onions and olives, and they wrap everything up. When you order a Bloody Mary, they give you a Bloody Mary with a little beer chaser and the food on top of your glass. I mean, they
Yeah.
literally just put it like that. So it's actually kind of cool. So these are things that I definitely like. The one thing I don't have are crackers because I forgot to buy them and I was busy today. I never made it to the store. So I'm making do with what I do have.
I know, like I forgot my oranges, and I went over and steal one of my mom's. But oranges, and I forgot my cranberry juice. So I mean, I got cranberry juice at CVS next door as opposed to running to the grocery store. Well, but I totally forgot shrimp. That's like, yeah, that's like a party go-to shrimp cocktail.
Mhm. It's a staple. So these olives, they do have cream cheese in them, and or not cream cheese. Oh my goodness, they have blue cheese in them. And I just dropped a olive. So I am taking out my blue cheese out of mine.
Okay, Gwen gets blue cheese olives for her martinis, and she gave me one day, and I'm like, I go bite into the martini, I bite into the olive because I love the olive, thinking
Olive.
it's regular olive. It's not. It's a blue cheese one.
Yeah.
I can't stand blue cheese in the
I
olive.
cannot either. I can't stand blue cheese.
Things that belong inside of an olive: jalapenos, garlic, the regular pimento.
Mhm.
All right, that's what belongs inside of a olive.
Just not just not blue cheese, man.
Not blue cheese. So.
So when was the last time you were at a gathering holiday party?
Well, like I said, for like work ones I don't go to. I don't remember if we went to Craig's. Like we're going to Craig's Christmas party on Friday, and I can't remember the last time. I don't remember if I went to his last year's Christmas party. I don't know if I did or didn't. So I can't remember.
Does he get a lot? Is that party mainly friends, family friends, or is it?
People in his name. His parties are people in his neighborhood and people like us who are connected to him.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
you go there, you park 10 to 15 houses away. You
Right.
got to park around the golf carts of everybody coming over with their golf carts. Yeah.
There you go. Because it's such a little small, tight-knit community that everybody puts around in their golf carts. Mm.
So once I get like garage built or something like that, I'll do a party. I'll do it in my garage. If get the heaters going out and stuff outside.
Right.
This year we're not doing it because we just don't have the room. The house just isn't set up to do a party this year.
Okay. So did you get your whole light situation figured out?
So there's a set of lights that go around my house that are up lights. That plug is getting water in somehow.
Oh, okay.
And I got to replace. I got a new set of lights, and I think it's one of the extension cords.
Oh, okay. Because I knew you were having trouble where it was on, but then it came off, and you were trying to figure out what the issue was. So it's the extension cord. Oh my goodness.
The extension cord is not plugging in strong enough. So anyway.
So I'm butchering my poor olives. This last one didn't come out as pretty, so there's still going to be a little bit of blue cheesy taste in there. Let's.
So we went to for I mean this week I'm going to be doing this week and then through next. I'll be doing it's like tomorrow I'm going to do a chicken in the smoker.
Okay.
And I think Wednesday I'm going to do my ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the store to find probably Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be doing my chili because it's going to get cold.
A lot of cooking.
It's going to get cold here, but
well, what's cold for you out there?
We're talking it's getting down in the 20s.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it won't warm up till like 40 during the day. That's cold.
Yeah, we were at 33 degrees on Friday morning. I think it got up to 42 yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So,
well, this one's really good. The cheddar cheese with the port and the almonds, that's really good flavor.
Yeah. So we were looking for a duck because one of the times I'm going to do this next week probably is a duck in the smoker.
Oh.
All right, and I want to figure out how to do it because it's something that's one of my smoker experience.
I thought you were going to make a duck ragu or something.
Yeah. And to me, I'm getting all these meat sticks to do this. So we go to this store that actually has some game meat, some exotic meats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And this store had a quail.
Okay.
So is it quail? Yeah. No, pheasant. We got 2 pheasants. We got a duck. All right. Got 2 racks of their, baby back. I bought their last 2 racks of baby back ribs because I make baby backs. I didn't get a turkey. I don't know if I got a chicken from there or not. But they had venison, ground venison.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to be making. I have not had venison chili in ages.
Uh-huh.
I could never find the venison. Well, now I found it. So I bought me 2 pounds of venison to make chili this week. All right, and then the whole ring is the duck and and the ribs to do for stuff this week. So we went there on Saturday, and I think I spent probably $200 at the meat market.
Yeah, you know what? But you're going to have, with what you're making, you can freeze a lot of that, and you'll have 2 weeks worth of food, or you freeze part of it, you eat some.
Well,
of
it's
it.
all frozen when you pick it up, so you basically take it right to your freezer, and then you pull it out if you need it. And they had a special freezing process that'll with it vacuum packed and stuff.
Okay.
That'll thaw twice as fast. So.
Okay, nice. So my hot buttered rum tasted really good with the olives, with my cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like tasting it around, and I do like it. This is the last time I had buttered rum, it was store bought, if you will. This particular one, I really like it. I didn't get a chance to because I got it this afternoon right before. Again, I was running around doing the second, and the third thing before my 2 o'clock appointment, and I'm trying to do this between 1:15 and 1:50 because I want to make sure I was back before my appointment started, which was a good thing because I was going to be out of internet. They were the Xfinity Comcast people were over. And so I'm like, well, good thing that I have an appointment. I don't have to be online. So it was perfect timing. But I didn't get to research this Harvey's buttered rum, but it is very delicious.
So, my punch, I just thought, I mean, I mixed a little Prosecco in with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. This punch calls for the whole bottle of Prosecco if I wanted to mix it in. I chose to keep it separated and added it.
No, it's a great idea because then you can always seal it back. There's those little doohickeys that you put on top of that comes down. It literally, it does this and it comes down to hold the air inside so that it doesn't flatten out.
Yeah, we have like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those things.
Oh, okay. So I got to see where. Oh, so they are somewhat local. They are in Bremerton, Washington. So Harvey's BRB.com for recipe ideas. And this also can be frozen. So if I decide I'm not going to drink all of it, I can freeze it and then open it up. It does not say how long it can be frozen for, but I'm sure I can freeze it for a few months. It is gluten-free, so if anybody wants this, you can have gluten. It is gluten-free, but it does contain milk. So it is not, if you're lactose intolerant, you do not want to use.
You got real milk in it, yeah.
But it's very basic. Also, brown sugars, powdered sugar, cornstarch, salt, butter, water, shortening, corn syrup. So yeah, there's a milk derivative in there, phosphates, all the things, spices, salt, natural flavors, and all the stuff that's going to keep it. So 120 calories per tablespoon. It does have 4 grams of fat, 2.5 grams of saturated fat, 10 milligrams of cholesterol, only 55 milligrams of sodium, which I find that actually for something like this pretty low. 21 grams of total carbohydrates, where it is high. So for those that are watching your glucose, it is 21 grams of total sugars. And of those, it's 21 grams of added sugars. So 42% of your daily allowance. So if you are watching on your sugars, this is not for you. I'm sure that you can make a buttered rum with stevia. I would start with a small batch if you're going to do that. Do something small. Don't try to make the 2 pounds. Why don't you start with like 6 tablespoons, and when it comes to the stevia, then another 6 tablespoons of stevia. Play with it, see what you like and see how it tastes and adjust it. If you need a little bit more butter, or even if you can have butter because of the milk products, then what else can you use as a substitute? So play with it. You got to play with it and see what works for you that you like, because this is really good stuff. Actually, I think this is much better than the last buttered rum I had. Oh, I know it's much better than the last buttered rum. That's, I think, in the back of the crisper somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it, with what it was nicely, it did not leave a residue. It went down very well and it melted very nicely. So you don't have that separation of the butter from everything else.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Very yummy. I did like that. And for the shrimp cocktail, very basic. I had found on my Food Network magazine, because I love Food Network. I've had Food Network magazine since the very first magazine that came out of Food Network. I got to borrow from one of my coworkers because she was a foodie, and I got to borrow that first magazine. After that, she actually gave me a gift of a year long. So I started receiving from month 2, and then I've kept it, and this was back in 20, let's see, I moved to Texas in 2008. So it had to have been 2006 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting, that's one magazine. That's the only magazine really that I subscribe to that I will pay every year, because they come up with great recipes. And they did have this one that had a mint dipping for the shrimp. Again, I was too tired to go do it, but I will be trying it because I love peel and eat shrimp, and just having different dipping sauces, I think would be good. This is basic ketchup, Tabasco, literally Tabasco, lemon juice, and horseradish. That's it. Very basic.
Really? That's, oh.
And depending on how much horseradish will be how white it is or how light it is.
Yeah.
I will play with it to give it a little kick, not too much. And then I'll add a little bit of horseradish. If I go a little too far, I add a little bit more ketchup. But if you're doing a shot, like a cocktail shot of this, what I'll do is that the alcohol goes at the bottom, because if you put the cocktail sauce first, it'll stick to the shot glass. So you put the whatever it is, usually in my case, it's vodka. Then it's the cocktail sauce. Then it's the whatever you're putting on top. Usually, in my opinion, it's an oyster. But you could add, a piece of shrimp if you want, something that's just kind of, goes well with cocktail sauce.
I actually have gotten store cocktail sauce and added more horseradish to it.
There you go.
I like my spice. What can I say?
I just like it to taste like chemicals. That's my problem, is that a lot of times when you're buying store-bought, sometimes it is worth paying a little bit extra. Although right now it is so hard to pay extra for anything because everything is extra. I was hearing that yesterday that they were saying that any family per person, we are spending on basics $100 more per month on basics, nothing extra. And so a lot of people are going to go from doing the brand name to generics. I don't mind generics. I really don't, especially if they're on sale. They're going to save me a little bit of money. The last time I went to the store, I saved 38 or 39%. And I'm like, I think I got overcharged, and I did. I actually did. I know how much I'm spending when I'm at the store.
Well, I've been using a lot of name, a lot of things we get are store brand names. So, like I buy my juices, I buy store brand. If there's a store brand juice, I'll buy it. Store brand chips, I buy them. Store brand, like I buy store brand ketchup. What I make my barbecue sauce with is all store brand ketchup.
Yeah.
All right, but it's the organic store brand ketchup.
And they will taste good. There's certain things that I'm not allowed to buy store brand, like mayo. It has to be Hellman's or Best Foods. And Hunt's ketchup are the two things that I've been told I'm not allowed to get brand name for me. I don't mind the ketchup, but yes, growing up, even though we grew up very poor with Mama, it was always Best Foods mayo is what we always bought.
Here's one thing that Cindy put in here in the ingredients that you didn't put in yours that I would put in my horseradish sauce. You ready?
What's that? Oh,
Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, I will do that next time. Thank you so much.
Not a lot, but just that I'm telling you that
Gosh.
I add some Worcestershire sauce to my barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Oh, I will try something new. It's a staple. I keep that in the fridge all the time. So right now, I'm going to try my hot buttered rum without any rum. So this is just Harvey buttered rum batter. So this is all, and water. That's it.
Okay, since you're doing that, then I'm just going to do some champagne by itself.
There you go. Love it. So what I did find is that it is a little bit sweeter. That is such a pretty glass. I love that.
Tim and his dainty glass.
Make sure you hold. That was one thing with Mr. Rob. He was my music teacher in junior high that called me Grace for 3 years. Whenever he would drink, he always had a one of those big jugs of coffee, and he would pour his coffee, and he was always telling us that our pinky had to be up when we drank. So when he sipped his coffee, pinky up. So when we were doing music with Mozart, which was our lunchtime club, if we were drinking, sometimes one of the guys would say, "Mr. Rupp," and he would be with whatever he was drinking, and they would have their little pinky up. So always had to be proper with the pinky up. So Mr. Rupp, this one's for you. But it is a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to add just a little dash, not much. Again, it just because it calls for 2 ounces of rum doesn't mean you have to put 2 ounces of rum into something.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't put the rum, there was 2 reasons I didn't put the rum first. One is that because I have my little kettle here, I'm sure the water isn't as boiling as it was with the first batch. So I wanted to make sure that it was hot enough for this to melt. So I figured if I have rum in there, it's going to cool down the water. So that was number 1. Number 2, I wanted to taste Harvey's buttered rum batter by itself. And it tastes really good. I do like the taste of it, but it is on the sweeter side. The rum tones down that sweetness.
Mm.
And one thing I have to look up is where Bremerton, Washington is from here. I always like to see where, if I know where the area is, but this is one that I'm not sure of. And maybe it's 5 hours away. One of my friends wanted to go out to this one location, Leavenworth, Livingston or Leavenworth, Washington. And I said, "Oh, okay. It's
That's not that town that's it sounds like that town that's like all like Swiss or whatever."
Yeah. Yep, it's just over 5 hours from me. And I said, because she was thinking do an overnighter. I said, "Oh no, that's a weekend. We leave Friday, we come back Sunday." And I said, "Yeah, I have good tires, but do we really want to deal with, because it's out in the country." From Seattle, I think it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours from Seattle east.
Yeah.
So yes, that is the place. I didn't spell it right. I didn't take it. Bremer. Oh, it's 157 miles from me. So it's 3.5 hours from here. So it's past Tacoma, and from Tacoma you get to Seattle. And it's, thank you, Cindy.
I'm
That's
going
right.
to get to it in a minute when you got done with that. I just probably our
It's
guest.
literally across the way from Seattle. So here's Seattle, here's Bremerton, right across the way. So across the river. So there are water shuttles that take you from some of these little towns over to Seattle, which take about an hour, but it's still easier than to go all the way around.
Yeah.
And you can put your car on it and they take you over. It's actually pretty cool. But yes.
So Cindy mentioned why I got this up on the screen. All right, we're still trying to get to 100 subscribers on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
All right, the link is right there. As Cindy has put it in our comments. Please grab down in the comments and do it. Cindy has something special she's going to help us out with to give away. I think it's a vacation or something she's giving us, right? Yeah. Yep. So go subscribe. Help us get to 100 subscribers. We know a lot of you watch us on YouTube or on Facebook, and some of you watch us on YouTube, but a lot more people watch us on Facebook. But if you go subscribe to our YouTube as well, our website is up. It's up actually down below. You can check it out there as well. So, but in the coming year, we would love to hear you on our YouTube or Facebook channels, even our Instagrams, telling us some of your recipes, what you did for your holiday party. So I still don't know what appetizer I'm taking for Craig's party on Friday. No clue yet. I haven't decided. But it's probably going to be something I create. There's things that I love to create for holiday parties. When it's like, you know what I mean, to bring an appetizer, bring something like that. Even if it's for work. All right, we've done Christmas parties before in the past where it was make your own chili. It was chili. So that when it was a cold year, all right, we would do a chili. Christmas party. And that, especially down here in Texas, everybody has a make your own chili recipe. Even I have a chili recipe that I'm going to be doing that is my Tim's Venison Texas chili.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was looking at the weather over here, and I think it is chilly weather. Maybe I'll make some chili. I mean, that's why I made the caldo de res, my beef soup,
Mhm.
because I knew it was going to start getting cold, and I love soup, and I needed to get warm. And but it'll be a low of 34 today. By Wednesday, it'll be 26. By Thursday, we're supposed to be at 22 degrees and 50% chance of snow on Thursday and Friday when it's 22 and 25 degrees.
Hey, you
Um,
send a
the
picture of that
high,
snow for me.
this is the high on Thursday, 28 degrees, the high. And then on Friday, the high is 34. Then it starts warming up in the low 30s and 40s, and then it goes up to for the high of 45 to 50. So we're a little bit on the cold end right now, and we might get some snow. So it happens. Just stay warm.
So you might have some snow on Christmas Day.
Sunday, no, by then it should be it'll be 42 degrees, 60% chance of rain with the high of 50.
So it'll be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, the snow should be gone by Saturday. Yeah, once it starts to rain and the weather gets warm, then it'll get slushy and icy, and then it'll go away, and then it'll just be rainy. It happens. Well, we got snow and ice back in February of last year. Weather was pretty bad. But when you're looking at appetizers that you're going to take, just in general for our audience, keep
Well,
it simple.
there's a million dips you can make.
Mhm.
Is the other thing, and those are huge at parties. Normally, I got Ritz crackers tonight, but normally I would get like the wheat thins, or I would get the rice crackers, things like that are the crackers I like. But
Yeah.
if you make a really interesting dip, everybody takes it out there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've made a really interesting avocado dip.
Oh,
You know, not really a guacamole, but an avocado
okay.
dip with avocado and you know, some of the things that you would have in your guacamole, but some of it that's not.
Okay.
So,
Oh, interesting.
mhm.
And sometimes what you can do is buy a pre-made dip and then just add a little bit more to it.
Yeah,
You know, it's we had bought an artichoke dip and then we added crab to it.
yeah, yeah.
And then we made it a crab artichoke dip, you know, and because it's got that fresh crab, then you're adding a little bit of lemon in there just to give it a little hint. You're
If you
mixing.
take it, that is something you have to do on almost all of those seafoods. If you add seafood to a dip, you've got to put some lemon in it.
Yep.
All right, yeah. Every time I come.
If you do shrimp, just chop up the shrimp really fine. So that way you get more bang for your buck. So just chop it really fine. And then if you throw it in the oven or a toaster oven just to warm it up and then it gets bubbly, add a little bit more Parmesan cheese on top uh, or a mozzarella cheese, anything that's going to bubble and make it look really, you know, get that brown at the top.
A crust, like a crust, yeah.
Yeah. And then it gives it a different flavor. You throw it in the oven. I mean, it's like, that's delicious. Another thing you can do is brie. So with brie cheese, when you get to where you're going, you say, hey, can I use your oven? Or if they have a toaster oven or an air fryer, whatever it is that they have, just to warm up the cheese and melt it inside. Then there's a ton of things that you can do on top. You can do any kind of preserve. You can do a cranberry if you made a cranberry sauce or just buy a cranberry sauce. Now you've upped that level and warm everything up. Keep everything warm, but it'll taste delicious. And even though everything will cool down, that warmth of it originally will still kind of be there, and it'll give it just some yumminess. So that's one great way. If you're going to do cheese and crackers, great. Get the tray. Guess what? Why don't you go to the dollar store? Get one of those trays that's clear or even colorful. Move everything to the tray.
Yeah, yeah. Make a display out of it, and it changes the whole atmosphere of it.
And then you can put crackers on the side, make the crackers fan out. Just give it a different look. Throw a few little extra things, like if you have rosemary or if you have cranberries or berries, nuts, whatever it is, just kind of put them in there to give it that a little umph. So you're not just grabbed it on, you know, from Kroger on your way to the party. You have spent 5 minutes and an extra $1.50 to make it, that level up. Those little things, make it look pretty. It's okay. You want to thank your host. That's the way of thanking them, by showing them, hey, look, I did more than just.
This is what I did for you.
Yeah.
Something I went to the Dallas Mavericks game on Friday night, and I don't know if you see my picture.
I did.
So they have a barbecue place they've added there, and the barbecue place had macaroni and cheese with brisket or barbecue on top. You can get brisket, you can get pulled pork. And I'm like, that's an idea I could do. Macaroni and cheese, and then do me some pulled pork or some brisket and just shred it on top. So people, got to mix it in like a casserole. That's a sweet treat. I'm thinking I was in heaven eating that. I cleaned that dish out.
Well, one thing that there's Slick's Big Time Barbecue. I met them when they had won second place, I think, at the St. Paul Rodeo. This was years ago. Mm-hmm. And they had this little place that was out in Newburgh that was 40 minutes to get there, 40 minutes to get back. And every couple of months I'd go by because it was delicious. They ended up, because the city took over eminent domain, they paid them to move. And so they moved to Wilsonville, which was great. But one of the things that they do is that they get a sweet potato, and it's a baked potato essentially, but it's a sweet potato. They add butter to it. Then they add either the brisket or the pulled pork or the chicken, and then barbecue sauce on top. And it is absolutely delicious. So you can get a half of a sweet potato or a whole sweet potato, and it's like, why would I want half? Give me the whole. The whole thing. You can get two types of meat. Mm-hmm. So I'll usually get the half brisket, half chicken, and it is just, oh my goodness, you can make 2 meals out of this thing, but it is absolutely delicious. Oh. So going back to your mac and cheese, it's something like that where you're just adding a little something.
You just add a little something to the top of the mac and cheese, put you a little bit of barbecue sauce on that sucker, and she is good. Mm-hmm. You can drink it with your beer. You can drink it with your bourbon. You can drink it with your wine if you want to.
There you go. Oh. Or your milk. Some people, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
as
that.
Weird as it is, some people will do milk with that.
That's them, not me. I'm not going to waste good barbecue on milk.
So you didn't like your meatballs, but did your veggie tray?
I've been nibbling on that the whole time. You know what I meant to bring in and I didn't was I have chocolates out there. I bought an array of chocolates.
Oh yeah.
All right, to keep on my tables. We had cookies. We've gone through most of our cookies. I have another batch of cookies that are my favorites that my mom puts in the freezer. That are like oatmeal and chocolate all put into a cookie, and I freeze them and eat them. And I forget what they're called, but they're in the freezer right now, new batches. And Russian tea cakes was the other one that I had, and I finished all them up. And Gwen was going to make more yesterday, and she just got caught up in too many other things, didn't get to make more cookies. So it's okay. She made these popover things instead. Because we had some apples that we had mixed up to do. On Saturday, we were going to do, apple crepes. So we mixed up the apples to make stuff into apple crepes, and we never made the crepes. So we had the whole apple sauce made, so we had put it into these popovers.
Did you already break into that, or have you not touched it yet?
I've finished half of it so far.
And how does it go with your punch? Is it yummy with your punch?
It puts some apple to that punch.
Okay, nice. So it brings it all back.
Oh, yeah. About ready for another refill on the punch.
Very nice. Well, I definitely liked the cheddar with the almonds and the port with the olives, the green olives that I took the blue cheese out of. Mm-hmm. It helped cut any flavor of blue cheese out of it. So I really like that. Shrimp, peel any shrimp are always for me. I love that. And then this Havarti cheese, this aged Havarti was actually really yummy. I really liked it. Mm.
So this is my third cup of punch.
There you go.
It's just a punchy kind of day. Anyway.
There you go. This is actually a warm me up. I was cold before the podcast. Sometimes the office just gets cold, and I have my little blankie over here that, it's my mom's wrap that just super warm. And so I usually wrap my legs around that because that's usually where the cold starts. And once I start coughing, I know that the cold has gotten, it's slowly creeping up. And this has warmed me up, so I feel good right now.
During these cold months, I tend to get cold. I have 2 extra shirts on today. I decided to stick with my country look today.
There you go.
My red and black shirt for Christmas.
There you go. Do you have a red and green shirt also?
A what?
A red and green shirt?
I don't. But I did change my light colors to red and green behind me for Christmas. So I usually keep red and blue as my 2 colors that main. But it's just getting ready for Christmas. I'm not going to do much work this week. I know you're probably working this week, aren't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will you work next week too, or no?
I will.
Will you?
I'm gonna see if I can take Friday off. Maybe I'm hoping. I'm not working this weekend. Monday, I do have plans actually on Monday or Sunday the 1st. I'm gonna go to Ewing Young, which is in Newburgh, for their Bloody Mary and Mimosa Bash. They're going to be using Mary's mixers. Greg is not going to be there. I messaged him. He says no, he had another engagement he has to be at, but they will be using Mary's mixers for the Bloody Mary. I'm taking my friend Mary out there. They're going to have a food truck with basic, breakfast foods and lunch foods. So we're going to be out there, have some Bloody Marys, some food, just have some girl time, and then come back. So that's my the first that I'll be doing. But yeah, next week I do have some work that needs to get done. Any last minute clients. I'm hoping next week will be a lot calmer than this week, especially, going with the clients that I'm trying to onboard, renewals. Tomorrow I have a 7 a.m. appointment. Wednesday I have an 8 a.m. and then a 10 a.m. Those are like my bigger meetings. I have other meetings in between, but the ones I have to actually go to, I'm like, go, go, go. That's okay. It's kind of fun and exciting, and knowing that, I'm able to get my clients in, and they're like, oh yeah, let's make some time. And it's like, thank you. At least it wasn't on, the 15th. That would have been like, I would have been twitching if they would have picked the 15th as the day to do their employee renewal meeting.
Well, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so like I'm doing my master class tomorrow for my community.
Mm-hmm.
Got John Limbacher coming. You know John, don't you?
Mm.
John Limbacher's coming.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes I do.
So I'm doing that, but other than that, it's like just goofing off around the house all week.
Nice.
So
no wonder you're going to be cooking so much food.
Yeah.
How's Gwen's schedule this week?
She's in the office this week, but next week she's off.
Oh, nice.
So, which next week we're not going to do much. All right, we'll be off. Like my whole day is my calendar's blocked, so people can't even try to book in with me next week. I'll do my mastermind call on Wednesday night, and that's it next week.
Okay, I did block off Monday of next week. Didn't block off the rest of the week. Monday and Friday, actually, because Friday I usually have multiple meetings, and that's my cleanup day, my admin day.
Yeah.
Friday is usually, not always, but usually blocked off. During open enrollment, I did open it up, but so I really have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for anybody to get on my schedule. And I do already have some appointments scheduled. But then again, I also have appointments scheduled into January and February.
You guys do anything then for what dinners out on over the Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's? Dinners out, parties out, anything like that?
Nope. We usually try to stay home. If we do anything, it'll be going out to the coast with his parents. And then for New Year's, we just stay home and look after Maverick because all the fireworks, the poor boy just gets freaked out. And I really am
Yeah,
not.
yeah, we go on New Year's Eve. We go out early, and I'm back early because I don't like to party because that's the day I lost my dad 12 years ago on that day.
Yeah.
Not a celebration day for me anymore.
Yeah.
But we're going on New Year's Eve. There's this wine bar we go to called Crew, and we usually do like I think ours is 6:45, 7 o'clock is like our dinner. My brother Jim's in town, so he'll go with us, right? And we have a family tradition because where the Crew is, there's a big Christmas tree next to a park near it, right?
Okay.
In the shopping center. We always walk down, get our picture taken with the Christmas tree, and send the picture to my brother Nathan, who lives in New Zealand, because where that Christmas tree is at, the corner apartment that on the second floor that is closest to it, my brother rented that before that whole development was built up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like back when like the apartments were open, but nothing else was open back then. And like, they put the tree up the first year and they barely lit it. And my brother was pissed because the following year when things started to open up, he moved out.
So
So
you never got to enjoy
it. But anyway, we go down and take that picture every year in front of the tree. All right. And then we got on New Year's Day, there is they're calling Winter Wonderland globes in Grapevine, Texas, at the one hotel near the train station. And so those clear globes.
Okay.
They got like seating area inside of it, and we're going to have dinner, right? At, just as it's getting dark, we will have dinner inside of one of those outside.
Nice. Those are fun because they keep it nice and toasty. Well, I'm at Valley Vineyards, that I'm an owner and an outside sales ambassador for them. I got to do that when it was really cold last winter, and that was really nice because you get it. You feel so personalized in this little globe. It's your little space, and so it was really good to do something like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. So
I've seen them before, and the first time I seen them was on the river in Chicago.
Okay.
And this was towards the end, we were just there. We happened to walk across, and we were there for a weekend. We're like, well, we'd love to do that. Like, sorry, we're booked up, the whole time we were there.
Yeah.
But, I've always looked for them. This hotel that we go to for other things throughout the year, I just found out when I was researching stuff to possibly stay there. Cause that town is dressed up neat for Christmas. It's a nice little small town, Grapevine is. And I noticed they had those globes. So I'm like, I'm booking us dinner.
Right there. Nice.
Glenn and I try to book dinner for all these things every now and for ourselves. And we still end up take my mom with. So mom tags along, and my brother Jim's in town. So we're tagging him along. Nice. So my $300 dinner date with my wife turned into a $600 dinner date with my wife and my brother and my mom.
Well, it was 4 of you, so it's rather than just 2 of you. So it was that's okay.
But I'm sure I'll get pictures up. So when we do our next broadcast, and after the first of the year, I'll show the pictures from it.
Perfect. And for everybody, we're going to be off next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back on the 2nd.
Next week is technically the Christmas Day observed. So, spend time with your families, guys. We're going to take a week off and spend time with ours. And I know poor Gladys, if she gets the day off in this section and in the season, she's taking it.
Yeah. I got yesterday afternoon. I got like 3 different messages. And then on one of them, I responded. I said, I haven't taken a day off since November 1st. And this is the first Sunday. And I promised myself I would not log on to the laptop. So if I can find the information on my cell phone, I will send it to you. But if I can't, I'm not logging on, because the moment I log on, I know me, I'll start to work. And I was too tired, and I'm like, I can't do it. And he's like, I'm sorry, on your day off. I was like, well, I haven't had a day off in a month and a half. So even when I got sick, I was working. And then that Sunday when I was feeling a little bit better, I used that Sunday to try to catch up because I had gotten behind because I got sick during cold. Yeah, I'm going to definitely not be working on the weekends. That is one thing I will, outside of open enrollment, I don't work on weekends. But other than that, you can find me at insurancedesignpros.com. If you have questions, message me. I will do my very best to help you out, introduce you to the right people that will help you with your employee benefits or your individual, whatever questions you might have. I am licensed in Oregon, Washington, California, but If I can't help you, I will still do my best to answer your questions and then nicely connect you with another broker in your state. And this is my co-host, Tim. Take it
Hey,
away.
Tim, Simple Easy Marketing. I help people with online marketing. All right, making it simple, making it easy for not just for you, but for your customers or new clients to find you, get to know you, and buy from you faster. So
very true. And if it wasn't for Tim, we wouldn't have this podcast because he's got the tech down. He knows how to do all this.
for you, we wouldn't have the knowledge of alcohol. So, but this is our last. Hey, this is our last broadcast of 2022. We've been doing this for a little over a year now, and it's been fun. So 2022 was a good year for you and I.
I think so. I think so. We have a lot of little links. We've been doing so much better at sharing information. I already have some recipes that are going to be uploaded tomorrow at either 12:26 or 2:26. I can't remember what time I have it. But there's going to be some cocktails that are going to be posted out there that will help you plan for your weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That will give you a variety of different things to choose from. So check out the Facebook page for recipes coming up.
Yep, and pretty soon we'll have a download of recipes. I don't know who that was. That was me or you?
I think that was me. I think I had a reminder of, I still have things to do. It was a reminder I have to term an employee's benefits.
All right. Next year, some of the things we're planning on doing in 2023, guys, is we are going to do some on-site recordings. We're putting the details together now. So that means you'll actually see Gladys and I in the same room.
Same location, same something.
Same something, anyway. Yeah. So we're looking forward to trying that next year. All right. We're going to try to get more people like Greg, who came by from Mary's Mixers, get those guys to come by. We're talking to a couple other people, trying to get them to come in with their products and services and share on the show. So that'll be fun as well. So, and if you have food, drinks, and you want to come on our show, by all means, reach out to us. All right. We'd love to share. If you have a food product, all right, or a drink product that, you've got to have something to match it on either side. All right. Or reach out to us. Maybe we can create a show around it. So, but we're looking to promote different people and friends. And we do have a friend in our mastermind. Well, they're not in there anymore. Who they've created a drink, and we just have not. They're not in 50 states. When they do, we will get them on the show. So anyway, right. Anything else you want to say there, partner?
No, thanks so very much, y'all, for this year. It's been wonderful. The feedback we've gotten, the downloads you've done, just the friendships that you've given us, and the kudos, the sharing. We appreciate you all for that. It is awesome. This has been a great year. We hope that we can outdo ourselves next year and do more for you to bring food and drink ideas to your life. And hopefully you've tried one new thing this year, even if it's just food related. We are good with that. So thanks so much for this year, y'all. We'll see you next year.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Bye.